Hey yo, it's Saberspark. Hope you all are doing well today. I am back with some questions and hopefully some answers for the Q&A video. And for those who don't know, I asked for people to submit their questions in my last video, and now I've got some of them compiled here, and I would love to read them off and enlighten you all about, I guess, myself. So let's kick this off with a question from Forrest Lark. Forrest said, could you see yourself working in the cartoon industry in the future? For example, as a writer or a script writer or a script editor. I am not that great of a writer, to be perfectly honest. I write my own scripts, but when it comes to just finesse and grammar, I just kind of get by. I'm better at writing essays and not really dialogue for characters. So, I mean, maybe, I don't know, if someone offered me, I would seriously consider it, but I don't think I would really pursue it otherwise. The Beast Pancake says, will you ever be on your Amino again? So I have been sponsored by Amino in 2 videos, and they are just a fantastic company. They pretty much propped me up as far as being a content creator goes. They sponsored my content, and a really cool app too. I have it on my phone. I haven't been able to get into it because when it comes to outside of YouTube work, I'm just really busy with other things. I do part-time at Starbucks. I have a girlfriend, I have a family. So I've been meaning to hop back into Amino and play on it some and just see what's going on. But for those who don't use Amino, I recommend checking it out. It's fun. It caught me off guard with how cool it is. Because typically most apps are but Amino is pretty cool. Andrew says, I know your channel will get 3 million subscribers. Prepare for that. I've seen channels like yours before go that far. Aw, not really a question, but thank you, Andrew. That's really sweet of you. I appreciate that. Well, we'll see. I'm just blessed to have been able to go this far so far. So I'm quite grateful for what I have. Fish Eye says, what video did you really enjoy making the most? I had a lot of fun making the Cartoon Network video. That one was a passion project, and I liked doing research with Jim and Paleo on that one. Oh, the Warcraft one was a lot of fun because that's an example of a video where it's like, I want to talk about this someday. And with the Warcraft movie that came out in 2015, I saw my moment and I went for it. And 2016. 2016? Yeah, it was 2016. Yeah, it was earlier this year, 2016. I saw my chance and I went for it. So that was a fun video to make. I enjoyed that because I'm so passionate about that topic because I used to be a big Warcraft fan when back in Vanilla and Burning Crusade. Adara the Chive question: which one do you like more, Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon? I was talking to my friends about this, and I'd have to say that Cartoon Network is just funnier to me and is more cartoony. And growing up with both Cartoon Fridays and Nicktoons, I had a lot to pick from, but Cartoon Network, I'd say it's my favorite because it's just like Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls, Ed and Ed Eddie, Samurai Jack. I love that stuff. Spamster3212, Spamster says, if you have the time, perhaps you could make videos about/analyzing pilot episodes of new cartoons as they are released. It would help the show get attention, and it could be a cool way to hear your thoughts on things like that. Maybe, we'll see. I wouldn't mind doing a vlog series like this every week. You can see kind of back behind me, I have a schedule for things. It'd be kind of cool to do a vlog and just talk about stuff. And amongst those topics can be cartoons, pilots that I would otherwise not be able to talk about because they don't really fit the parameter of, or the mold of what I'm looking for a big video. Nick says, hey, nice channel. My question, do you have any animation background? I kind of felt that you work as an animator. Nope, none. I do not. I can't even draw, really. I'm not a great artist. I can talk about animation I cannot recreate it. Emily says, I know you like animated shows, but I was wondering if you watch anime, and if so, do you have any favorites? Love your channel. Keep up the great work. Oh, thank you, Emily. My favorite anime of all time is One Punch Man. I'm a huge One Punch Man just nut. I love it. Back in late 2015, before getting into the video stuff again, I started watching One Punch Man because it was releasing around that time, and it actually encouraged me to go to the gym and lose a bunch of weight. I kind of put a little bit back on, but I really love that show. It's so great. I cannot wait for season 2. And amongst other things, like Dragon Ball Z is great. I mean, it can be kind of campy, but it's pretty great. But One Punch Man is my favorite. I love that show. Oh, love it. Bradley says, hey Saber, I have a question. When did you begin to think about changing your content from mainly pony videos to videos about different cartoons in the internet? Love your videos, man. Keep up the great work. Congrats on 200,000. So for those who don't know, I used to talk about My Little Pony in my content back in 2011, 12, and 13, and 14. And it was fun. That was definitely a huge springboard that got me to where I am today, so I'm not going to deny my past. It's there. I obviously love animation. My Little Pony is an animated show. It's a good one. Nowadays it's kind of I don't really watch it anymore. I mean, I watch it, but it's not like Steven Universe where I'm like, yes, okay. But My Little Pony's like, oh, okay, there's an episode. I guess I'll watch on Netflix or whatever. But yeah, to answer your question, when did you begin to think about changing your content? Around 2014, I kind of fizzled out with MLP. I didn't know what else to do with it or say. And in 2015, because the first video I did that segued out of that stuff was why cartoons aren't just for kids. And then after that was Our Fandom's Bad. 2 videos that, like, MLP fans can appreciate, but it's not exclusive to. And that was what started me to get me out of it. Because it wasn't like, oh, I hate this stuff, I'm out of here. It's more like, no, I feel like I've kind of said everything I can, and I want to move on to bigger things and larger audiences and the topics that still kind of spark my curiosity. No pun intended. So it was around 2015. That's when I segued out, and I've blows my mind that I was able to do it. I know a lot of folks get stuck with it, and I'm very humbled and honored that I was able to take my previous audience and bring them with me, because they got me to where I am today, and I really appreciate it. The Irishman says, my question for you is, what type of music do you like? So as of late, I've been really into synthwave, but outside of that, I really like just chilled out electronic music. I like trance. I like classical. I like instrumental stuff that helps me focus. That's my favorite. Genius Wolf says, is it possible to do a good reboot? I know how much you dislike the Powerpuff Girls reboot, so I'm curious to think if you think the same of other reboots. There's continuations, there's reboots, there's all kinds of, I guess, revivals. I mean, My Little Pony was a good, reboot. Samurai Jack, I'm excited about. Yeah, you can do a good reboot. Just put the right team in charge, who aren't selling out from the get-go, and you can do a good job. Samnet says, would it be okay if I do a portrait of your face? I would love that. I'm so excited whenever people draw stuff of my character, of me. I have a wall over there where I put my art. I'll post a picture of it here in a bit. But it's a pin board where if people send me art, I typically, unless they send it to my P.O. box, I'll ask them permission to print it. And if so, I'll print it out in a nice way, and I will put the picture on my little, I guess, fan board, for lack of a better term. And it just kind of is a cool way to decorate my room, and to also remind me of all the amazing people who support my channel and help me do what I do. Billy Hatcher 643 says, I have a question. How long does it take to make your videos? Depending on the video size, because the Cartoon Network one was twice the size of a typical video, I'd say 2 weeks. It takes about 2 weeks from start to finish between researching and writing and recording and editing, because I also do part-time at Starbucks, and it's 20 hours a week at least. So altogether, I'm putting in at least, I'd say, well over 50 hours a week. And because editing takes forever. That's a commitment. That's the longest part of the process. Recording, this is the way I say it. It's like research is kind of grueling. Writing is frustrating. Recording is annoying. And then editing is just long and not, I mean, I don't want to say grueling for research, but editing is just like, you better knuckle down, man. You'll be doing it for a long time. All right, so Crimson Limeris says, congrats on 200,000 for your Q&A. What is your favorite animated movie? And if that's so, and if it's too specific, favorite movie maker, like Studio Ghibli, Disney, Pixar. My favorite animated movie? I love Spirited Away. I could watch that movie forever and never be tired of it. So Studio Ghibli did a great job with that. I think it was Studio Ghibli. I always get confused with the Japanese studios. I'm pretty sure it's Ghibli. But Miyazaki and Spirited Away, best film ever. I love it. Power Nut says, have you seen that Cartoon Network mini episode called Infinity Train? And what are your thoughts on that? I did see it. A lot of folks have been asking me about that. It's kind of funny how my Cartoon Network video came out around the same time. I really enjoyed it. I think it'd be a good replacement for Adventure Time, and I really hope they give it the green light, because I think it has a lot of potential, and I hope to see more of it. I like the characters. The little corgis cracked me up. Zach Hodge says, have you seen Infinity Train and 12 Forever mini episodes in Cartoon Network? There's also a pilot for a show called Long Live the Royals, which is really reminiscent of a regular show. I haven't seen 12 Forever, and I've not seen Long Live the Royals. I already told you about Infinity Train. I need to brush up on these new pilots and see what they're about. I've been meaning to, but I just haven't had the chance yet. Die Memester Singer says, are you into any other genres of art? How do they compare to your love of animation? I'm not an artist. I'm not a dancer or a singer or an animator. I don't necessarily create. I critique, and I truly think that creating something is one of the most beautiful things ever, because you're adding something to the world, while critiquing is taking what somebody else added and then, I guess, giving your judgment on it. So to all the creators out there, keep it up. I don't really add to the pile. I just kind of play with it. Spin Top 80 says, would you ever go on Rebel Taxi's podcast? I watched their podcast. Jim is one of my friends, and he helps me with my videos with research and proofreading. And I know that he's on the podcast. I listen to the podcast a lot. I really enjoy it. They're really funny guys. And if they would ever have me, then sure, I'd go on it. It'd be fun. Feeling Like a Star said, what is ruining Disney Channel? So I talked to Jim about this. I said, so should we do a What's Ruining Disney Channel? And he's like, I don't know. I feel like it's always been ruined. And I'm like, oh, you're right. It hasn't always been that great. At least for animation. I mean, it's only been recent that they actually had anything worthwhile to put on their channel for animation. I know Proud Family, Kim Possible, yeah, they're okay. But like Gravity Falls, Star vs. and Wonder Over Yonder, I mean, those were some really amazing shows, and they were like just a few years ago. I mean, some of them are still airing. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. Speaking of Jim, why do you always fart on your hands and then smell your own farts? It's gross. It's the price you pay for good writers. Pegasus Kiwi says, congrats, Saber. What's your favorite type of video to make? Example, top 10, what ruined, etc. I'd say what ruins are my favorite. Now, I know that some friends are like, oh, why you have to be such a negative Nancy? I don't feel like I'm critiquing it. I'm not always like, necessarily beating it up to the point where it's a pulp. There's just a lot more fun to me. I like what ruins. Top 10s are fun. They're goofy. I can be sillier with top 10s, but what ruins are like my favorite. I enjoyed those a lot. Sparse Voxel said, did you ever think earlier in your life that you would end up working in the line of reviewing cartoons, or cartoons in general? No, I did not. I've always loved cartoons, always loved animation growing up. Instead of playing sports, I'd be at home for Cartoon Fridays. I remember, like, it was such a big deal as a kid, like to get home from school, to talk to my dad and my mom and, like, convince them to take me to Blockbuster. And we'd go to Blockbuster, I'd rent my favorite N64 game or PS2 game, and I'd come home, but before playing the game, it's Cartoon Friday. You know, typically my parents we all would go get some, like, food that night, whether we eat at the restaurant or we order it to come to the house. And I remember, like, eating, like, Mexican food was my favorite, and I'd be eating it, watching, like, the new Samurai Jack, the new Ed, and Eddie, or Dexter's Lab, and then after that I'd be like, okay, that was great, and then I'd go play video games, and then I'd fall asleep. Like, man, that was a dang good time, and I really miss my childhood now. MoFlo says, I have 2 questions. What is the most intense video you think you've made? The What Ruined Cartoon Network video. Definitely. That was intense to make. Number 2. What was the most fun video to make? So back in the day, I made a video called Horse Famous. A bit of a callback. I put on a mask. See, there was a weird time where I did sketch comedy for a bit on my channel, because I was trying to find something that would work. Pardon me. And it didn't really work, but the videos that came from it were a lot of fun. I got to make them with my friends Scott and Tyler. They were good times. H-Town Bound says, what inspired you to become a YouTuber? So I can say with most certainty that no one wakes up in the morning and goes, I'm going to succeed at YouTube today, and just become that overnight. If anything, you make an account to watch videos, to like videos, to make playlists. That's what I did back in, like, 2006. I remember, or was it 2007? I forget when I made my account back in the day. And I remember then making my own videos and uploading them, just goofing off. Like, you kind of, more often than not, it's a hobby. It starts off as something that you enjoy doing and playing with, and then you take those videos and maybe they give you some kind of success. You gain some kind of audience, and you grow from there. Like, it's something where it's a hobby that turns into a job. That's the beauty of YouTube, is you can test it out and try it. You know, worst case scenario, doesn't work out, you still have a fun hobby. But if you do really succeed with your uploads and gain a massive audience, then that hobby becomes a career or a job or whatever, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of like I'm on the final, I guess, steps of that, where I'm almost at the point where I can do this full time, and I'm really pushing hard to do that. It's contractual work, so, like, it's feast or famine. There are some times where you make, wow, okay, I can survive, and then there are times where you're like, man, it's gonna be ramen for the next few months. So you gotta learn how to budget and realize that safety net's not there. You gotta take care of yourself. Hence why the Patron's a huge help for those who support me. Thank you. Thunderstruck Gaming said, what inspired you to do this type of thing? I'd say just loving cartoons and talking about them. Is there anything else you wish you could wish to do that you can't do right now? I've always wanted to be a teacher. That was kind of my goal in life after college. Because after college, I was like, oh, what am I doing with my life? And then I started making YouTube videos, but they didn't really succeed, right, as far as getting a massive viewership. And then I thought, okay, I'll go back to school and get my master's and become a teacher for sociology. And no joke, that was the plan up until just a few months ago. And then the YouTube stuff really took off, and I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. Like, never burn a bridge until you cross it. But for right now, I think I might put the schooling on hold and focus on this, because it's actually it's going through a positive growth right now. I want to see if I can cultivate that. Rave B said, hey Saber, question. What do you think is the worst cartoon in Cartoon Network history, and why? See, I feel like there's an answer. I'll be like, oh yeah, that's it. But I can't really think of anything right now. Oh, the Tech Savory Show. That was on Cartoon Network. Yeah, I think that was on Cartoon Network. Yeah, that was awful. That is the worst cartoon in Cartoon Network history, in my opinion. It was trash. Hated it. Dead Hour says, love your channel, so happy to see it grow. For my question, what are your, quote, guilty, or I guess parentheses, guilty pleasure animated works? You know, stuff that you know is objectively bad, but you can't just help but enjoy it on a personal level. The Princess and the Goblin. I remember watching that with my little sister when I was a kid, and we just made fun of it, and I watched it again. I still love it, and I know that objectively it's not a good movie from an animation point of view or storytelling, but I love it. I love the music, I love the characters, and there are some pretty deep memories connected to it. Dakota Turbo says, what made you want to do cartoon videos? So, just loving cartoons. I love cartoons, I love animation, and I wanted to critique and discuss about them. So, put two to two together, and that's where I am today. Hey Saber, I've been around since 2012, and it's been amazing to see seeing the growth of your channel. So congratulations on 200,000. Thank you. My question is, who or what inspired you to start YouTube? I just got into it on my own. I just made a channel, I made an account to watch stuff and to like stuff and to make playlists of like, oh, this is my favorite video. And that's how I got into it. QB says, did you get your silver play button yet? Yep, it's right over there. I moved the camera, but it probably went out of focus and then everything's ruined. The Bad Cop says, congrats. Might you ever do a, quote, what, or parentheses, what ruined The Simpsons? You know what? That's a good one. Possibly? We'll see. Maybe. I have a couple of What Ruined series videos in mind, but that's a good one, so thank you. If you don't mind, I'll probably put a little pin in that. Raymond Condolife says, Patreon donation shall be given, buddy. Keep up the good work. Oh, so Raymond recently supported me on Patreon, so thank you, Raymond. Once again, that is a enormous help, and it helps me get by during months that are not as great as months like these. So thank you so much for your support. He says, I was wondering, have you ever liked Bucky O'Hare and the Toad Wars? I think I've heard of Bucky O'Hare, but I don't know about the Toad Wars. I don't know. I'll Google it after this video. I'll check it out. Bubba Fett. Bubba Fett, it's pretty good. Says, Saberspark, what made you want to start making videos? Like, what lit the fire for your very first video, and how much have you learned from all of this? So, and he says, P.S., what advice would you have for someone wanting to start their own YouTube channel? So, for me, it was school. I had projects and presentations that were like, the teacher was like, hey, so you have to do a presentation before the class at the end of the semester. And I'd say, can I do a video project and just show the video? And they're like, that sounds really different and cool. Of course you can. And that's how I got into it, because I figured I can learn how to make some videos while trying to pass a class. And then once again, he said, what advice would you give to someone wanting to start their own YouTube channel? I say have fun with it, go nuts, go crazy, do whatever you can that works, and don't be discouraged when it doesn't, because it takes time to get anywhere. So keep it up. Friendly Person 250 says, how do you feel about the adult gender gap in admitting cartoon viewership? It's silly. Adults make the cartoons, so why can't they watch them or enjoy them? Like, I don't get that. Like, come on, let people like what they want. Guy Simkani says, my question, what factors and or cartoons do you think have caused the emergence of serialized storytelling in cartoons that is happening these days? So Adventure Time, Steven Universe, Gravity Falls. I think one of them came out and did it right and succeeded, and then that made other networks feel a bit more confident in, I guess, betting on serialized shows. So Adventure Time, regular show, good job guys. Regular show kind of, but Adventure Time definitely showed people that it can work, and I guess that allowed other networks to feel comfortable with betting on that kind of gamble. Because if it doesn't work, it's because the thing about slice of life shows is you don't need to be there from last week to appreciate it. You just pick up and go, like Clarence. But then Gravity Falls, like for people who stick with it, you appreciate more of the story. So it's a double-edged sword. Legend Rider says, will you ever do more reviews on video games like you did with WoW? So I follow my passion when it comes to video topics. If I don't feel it, then I won't address it. And for Warcraft, I definitely wanted to talk about that because it was a big part of my teenage years, and I wanted to discuss about how it grew over the years and where it is now. So that was a bit of an exception to the animation stuff. So we'll see. Maybe. I follow my gut. Marissa says, your dog is so cute. Is he a miniature poodle? Yeah, Lambie is, oh my God, he's my best friend. I love that dog. He's my favorite. I'd fight a bear for that dog. And he is a miniature poodle. I've had him since he's 11 years old, and I've had him for a long time, and he's like my son. I love that dog. Love him to death. Kara Dad says, why do you think Disney and Nickelodeon can manage a mix of animated and live action shows, but CN failed to do so? So they kind of started as live action. I know that Nickelodeon definitely did. I'm pretty sure so did Disney Channel. Cartoon Network was always cartoons. People always went to Cartoon Network for animated shows. And to see live action shows, it's like, if I want to watch live action shows, I'll go to Nickelodeon, I'll go to Disney. Let's keep Cartoon Network as cartoon underline network. And that's why I think they kind of failed at that front. Ashayo said, how long have you made content? I've been doing it since 2000 and like real consistent content since 2011, but actually uploading stuff and goofing off, I'd say around 2009 or so. Jack Meow says, did you go to college? I did. I went to college. I studied political science. I didn't like it. I minored in sociology, which those were the courses that allowed me to do video projects. So I figured, okay, so the plan will be to go back and get my master's in sociology and become a teacher. And that was the plan up until like a few months ago. And then the YouTube stuff started to actually like really take off. And now like I'm like, okay, school can wait. Let's see how we can do with this YouTube stuff for now. But once again, I'm not gonna burn the bridge before I cross it. Outlaw said, will you ever do a video on Kids WB, its programming, blocks, and iterations? I love that. Saturday morning cartoons don't have enough attention on YouTube. So I was going to do a what ruined Saturday morning cartoons video, but the truth of the matter is the answer's, it's just the internet. Like the internet did it. The entertainment shifted. But I do want to do a history of Saturday morning cartoons. So yeah, we'll talk about that. It's on the horizon. Chuck Foda Toy says, hey Saber, do you have a lightsaber? Yo, so I do. I went to a convention in Wisconsin at the end of October, and a fellow by the name of Zach gave me a Saber forged lightsaber. I love this, and I want to hang it over my bed, and it is one of the coolest things anyone's ever given to me, and I really appreciate Zach for giving it to me, so thank you, Zach. Neo says, what kind of audio and video making / recording, mixing, and editing equipment do you use, and what software? So I don't really use that much. It's not super fancy. I use Audacity to edit my audio, or to record and slightly edit my audio. My friend Matt edits the rest. I use Sony Vegas 12 to edit the videos. I have a Blue Yeti microphone. And that's about it. You don't really need that much to get off the ground. It's not necessarily about, a price point where I need to buy this much in order to succeed. Like, it helps, but a good idea is so much better than just expensive equipment. Rio says, from concept to publishing, how long is the process on a video such as What's Ruining? So I think I kind of answered this question already. But What's Ruining Cartoon Network took me about a month to make, because that was twice as long as a typical video. On average, it takes about 2 weeks to make a video, and because I have to research it, I have to write it, I have to record it, I have to edit it, and all those things together take quite some time. But on average, 2 weeks is what it takes to make a video. And the last question is from Tyler6, who says, how did you meet your team? So, my team, most of them are good friends of mine who I met prior to making these types of videos. Matt is a good friend. Paleo, Jim, good friends. Hirasashi does the music. He's a good buddy of mine. I'm surrounded by very talented, kind people who I enjoy their work. And if I enjoy their work, then I will say, hey, I want to hire you to make something for me. And that's where I get my help, is from my good friends. And it's a really healthy, fun relationship, and I really appreciate their help. So that is it for the Q&A. This video lasted a lot longer than I expected. I have a couple of ideas on the horizon once again. I want to do a vlog series like this on Mondays or Tuesdays each week, just so I can talk to you all and keep just this communication up, because I like talking to you guys. I like seeing what y'all have to say and asking me questions and doing what I can to just give feedback and, I guess, insight for what it's worth. And I plan on doing at least 3 big videos before the year's over. I have a Gravity Falls video coming out hopefully this Friday. Thursday, if I can get it done in time, but most likely Friday. And I have 2 Disney videos slated for December, possibly a Squirrel and Hedgehog review if I can get it done in time. So I'll keep going strong with these big uploads, the, I guess, analysis, what ruined top 10 videos. But I'm also going to throw in these vlog series for now just to kind of add to it. And I hope you guys like them. I know that the majority of my subscribers will probably ignore it because they come for the main course. But for those who are still hungry, you got this. So, again, thank you guys so very much for your help. I don't know why I flung my head back like that. Thank you guys so much for your help. I really, really, really appreciate it. This has been an amazing journey. I can't believe that I'm here. I can't believe I get to do this stuff for such amazing people. And it's just incredibly humbling. And it goes beyond my dreams. I never thought I could get this far. So thank you for helping me achieve these goals. And I'll keep doing what I can to keep you all happy and entertained and provide my unique criticism when I can. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Boop.